Welcome. We are now on the fourth moon of this process, and it corresponds to the zodiacal sign of Cancer. In Joseph Campbell's hero's journey, trials and labor is the stage of this process. This is the hot sun moon when things are still green from spring. Things are becoming plump and full. The weather is starting to get nice, and the first tiny indications of the future harvest form. In alchemy, this is the stage of separation. I know the correspondence to the zodiac season of Cancer may be odd. Cancer is usually about the family and home. Separation seems odd, but if you look at the symbol for Cancer, the two circles with the tails forming a bigger circle, the separation is obvious. Unlike Pisces, where the two fish seem at odds with one another, these two circles are swirling in the same direction. D.W. Huck describes separation as the isolation of the desired components from the previous operations. Any unworthy material is then discarded. Paul Foster Case describes this step differently. This is where we truly separate from the collective, becoming a microcosm of the macrocosm. He explains, regarding the Hebrew letter Chet assigned to the stage, it is the establishment of the purified personal consciousness. Chet in the esoteric sciences stands for field or fence, which are both perfect symbols for separation. A field is separate from the chaos of nature. The farmer is the one who creates the order, and then brings life by planting the seeds, and maintaining order among the plants, so it will support even more life. Paul Foster Case quotes Ripley, who says, "Separation divides each part from the other, the subtle from the gross, the thin from the thick." At this stage, the Red King and the White Queen are separated, creating two distinct beings. Prior to this state, the subconscious and conscious were thought to be one. The White Queen is the subconscious and the aspect that we are raising up. In the previous stage, our subconscious took its proper place, but now we are separating the conscious awareness of it. We can recognize when the subconscious is at work. We know the knee-jerk reactions that we have mentally are from the subconscious. Not only that, but we are purifying the subconscious. Paul Foster Case explains, "The power which flows from the addendum is what alchemists call our water." In his chapter on separation, Ripley tells us that the water must be distilled until as clean and thin as water should be. The water can be purified and restored to its pristine purity. This is accomplished by concentration and meditation. Page 242. Water is always a symbol of the feminine and subconscious. So here too, we find that what is being separated is the subconscious that is purified further as a result. Paul Foster Case quotes Ripley again, who says, "Oftentimes make separation, dividing the matter into two parts, so that you take the simple from the gross until the earth beneath remains of a blue color." Later, Paul Foster Case explains, "One must separate from form, the gross, from spirit, the simple, until we established that which is below, form, is truly as above, spirit." This reminds me of the Azoth depiction of the stage of separation, where the crow looks into the water and sees a white bird looking back at it. The subconscious, like the moon, is supposed to reflect the higher self or divinity. For Paul Foster Case, the method to achieve separation is a combination of meditation and speech. He explains that words matter and reflect our inner state of being. Now, we will take a look at the Chariot for a moment. This is the tarot card associated with the stage of the process. The Chariot represents our consciousness. We know this because the Chariot doesn't have wheels that work, so there's a hint that this isn't really a vehicle. Here, however, the personality of the individual is driving the vehicle. One sphinx is thinking and the other is feeling. Again, we have the sense that we can, at this point, work with both aspects of ourselves. We can differentiate between our thoughts, consciousness, and feelings, subconscious, which are now separate, but neither control us. Instead, the personality has the reins and can rein in each as needed. The Chariot is a mirror of the world, a microcosm of the macrocosm. The Chariot has its own heaven, and the white stone the charioteer rides in is his personal earth. A crab, the sign of Cancer, is similar to the Chariot. The charioteer has personal enclosure of the chariot, just as the crab has his shell. With both the charioteer and the crab, they are whole and complete unto themselves. They might as well be their own personal little worlds. They do not require anything from the outside to complete them. A charioteer has to be one with his chariot in order to ride it properly. The crab is one with its shell to the point where it seems to literally be part of the creature. Now, in his book, Hermetic Alchemy, Science and Practice, Paul Foster Case states, "The whole meaning of the tarot key is that personality is a vehicle of the I Am. The alchemist works hard to make it a clear-cut realization." Now, the idea that the personality is, in essence, one of the many masks that the divine wears goes back to believing in oneness. The Bhagavad Gita describes this perception the best, and it's an entire book, so I can't go into all of that in this video. To reach this point of realization is truly trials and labor, to refer back to the stage that we are at in Thomas Campbell's hero's journey. Paul Foster Case makes it clear that it's the establishment of the individuality at this point that allows for this realization. He also hints at the end of the reincarnation cycle. Once we hit the critical mass point of being an individuated being, there's no longer a reason to return to the physical body to continue incarnation. I cover this concept in my book, The Purpose of Life, a brief scientific and magical approach for the zodiacal age of Aquarius. But for now, this brief explanation shares a lot and is worthy of meditation. The ideal that this realization occurs at this stage makes sense. I am reminded of D.W. Huck's explanation of the Azoth picture. At the stage of separation, the bird in the Azoth picture realizes how the interaction of soul and spirit work, but both are within one another. The Saturnine crow almost seems shocked. The beak is open. When it sees the white bird in the water is identical aside from color. In a similar manner, when you comprehend how a soul is identical to divinity in a limited form, it is shocking. Although Paul Foster Case doesn't come right out and say it, this is the stage where we have this realization. For many, this realization is enough of an accomplishment for a lifetime. That there are more stages to go through is mind-boggling. Here we have already halted the process of incarnation. I have no idea what else we can achieve in the physical form. Only through separation, where we become a microcosm, a little I am, can we comprehend that we are the reflection of that cosmic I am having a human experience. There is much more that could be said, but it is a complex realization I'm not sure I can put into words without making this video convoluted and very long. Perhaps I will try to illuminate that topic in the meditation on the stage in the system of 12. That is all that I have for you today. Thank you for joining me, and bye for now.